I deleted the first one out and started over, so hopefully you can everybody can find me. I'm going to wait for a little while and hope that folks come on. Um, we'll see what happens. Now, I figured I'd talk about my show that I did this weekend, and then we'd sort of talk about some thoughts I had for using our beads here um, from the Malibu. Hi, Miranda. From the Malibu Beaches collection here. Um, that's an odd number. Hey, Beth. Hi, Dawn. So, 19. Oh, strange. Okay. Sorry, talking to myself, ladies. As I said, I figured we'd talk about my show for a little while, and then we'd talk about the various things that I was thinking about using with my Malibu Beach anniversary bundle that we got the other day. Some of us got onto Beating Besties. Sorry, I was cussing at the first of Beating Besties because my microphone wasn't picking up the other group, and I couldn't hear anything they said, but apparently they could hear me. I finally got it working, so that was nice, but for some reason my upper tablet just went to something entirely different from what I had it on, which is sort of strange, but what? Oh, that's right. Because I turned the original one off, it wanted to do a different one now. So now I have to have it do. When you switch things up, sometimes you have to make it do something other than what you're doing originally. So it's a little bit of it was hilarious. Yeah, I wasn't thrilled myself, but I'm glad that everybody else was amused. Because I usually try not to cuss on camera, but I was because I couldn't hear a bloody thing anybody was saying. And well, I had just got home from the show, and so I was a little bit. I was tired. I was cranky, and it was hot, and and things weren't going right, and so I was a little bit upset. So yeah, but and it had taken me a little longer than normal to get on with the ladies because I normally get right on, but it wasn't cooperating at all with me yesterday. My stream wasn't, so I was getting a little bit upset about it. And but in the end, we got it all worked out, thankfully. And so, whoa. Oh, that's good. I was playing with my beads here, counting them and then separating them out, and I just dropped the whole strand of the really pretty opal pink beads all over the floor. Well, I shouldn't say the whole sand. I still have about 10 of them up here with me, but most of them are on the floor. I hope that doesn't portend how the rest of the day is going to go. Anyway, my show went pretty well. Setup day was a disaster, though. We were having wind gusts. Hey, Georgina, and hi, Tina. And I'm not sure if I said hi to Anita, so I'll say hi to Anita now. Anyway, we were having really horrible wind gusts, and so it was really hard to get the canopy to stay in place, number one. And then to top that off, my earring racks, which are pretty good sized, because they have um, 9 rows of 9 earrings on each one. And they ended up acting like wings or sails and just lifted my table up because we clamp them to the table so they don't fall over. And well, the wings they just took hold like cells and just lifted my table up and flipped it over. And we got it put back up, and then the second time it tried to do it, and we grabbed it before it could, and we sort of decided, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to we decided it would be best to just find out when we could come in the morning to set up, and just say and just quit for then. And so that's what we did, because we could come back at a couple hours before the show started in the morning. So we decided, well, that would probably be the best thing to do, because this is ridiculous. We can't do anything when it keeps blowing everything over. So startup was a disaster, sort of. So I wasn't real pleased. But we did get all set up the next day. And then from the heat, I was starting to get a little sick. And so about, maybe a third of the way through the day, Steve sent me home, told me to get take a nap and get out of the sun for a while. So I did. And prior to that, we'd only sold the 2 dragon necklaces. Remember our 2 dragon necklaces we made with the sari silk, and for the one with the green and the green tube, and then the fairy silk we used on the purple one? Those 2 sold before the show even actually officially started. And it was very strong, Tina. We were praying it wouldn't keep up all weekend, and luckily it did not. So we were lucky that way. But so I sold those 2 before the show even officially started. It was probably about 9:30 when I sold them, and the show started at 10. And then we didn't sell anything before I went home. And I was getting a little bit discouraged, and wondering, was this a bad idea with my bad leg and everything? Do I really want to be here for not doing anything? And so Steve sent me home for about an hour or 2. He said, go home. You don't look like you feel good. Go home, take a nap or something. And, I'll take care of things. Well, when I came back about 2 hours later, because it takes about a half hour to drive to our house from the fairgrounds. And so I went home, and hey, Beth. And I went home and I got something to eat, and I laid down and took a short nap, picked up a few things that I'd forgotten here at the house, and went back. And when I got back, Steve had sold over $300 worth of things. Hey, Heather. And I was like, dang, maybe I should have stayed gone. But then and then we sold probably another $125 worth of stuff after I got there, before it ended for the night. And then the next day, Steve was having a lot of wanderlust, so he was wandering around through the booths, which was fine. I didn't mind. And we didn't do nearly as well, but then Sunday seems to always be a slow day, so I wasn't really surprised. I just wanted to do a couple of hundred, and that would have made me have as much as I did last year at the Fairy Festival. And we did get that. We would have had more, but I had, sort of funny actually when you think about it. Steve had sold a pair of the fairy ears, not the 2 newest ones we made the other day, but the ones with the fairies in them that I had already had made, and to a teenager. Well, yesterday her mother brought them back and said she was supposed to buy school things. I don't think these apply as school things, so I want to return them. And I was like, well, I don't normally take returns, but since she's had them less than 24 hours, they look like they're perfect. She says, oh, that she didn't even wear them. Well, I think she did, because she'd left the box with me, so I still had the box. But But I just decided, okay, that's fine. People are trying them on all the time. I'll just rub the ear band with some alcohol later, and we'll just put them back out on the sell table. And so I returned her money. But in normal conditions, I don't do returns, especially if it's after any length of time. But I figured it was only 24 hours, so, and her mom was really ticked at her, so I was sort of trying to protect the kid, so um but so it turned out really well. It was quite warm in the high 80s. Yes, I know some of you guys have got 100-degree weather, and I'm certainly glad that wasn't the case. Um, I do have a big Black & Decker battery-operated fan that I take with me on hot days, and we did have that, so that was a lifesaver. And one of the food trucks was selling ice cream, so I had ice cream, a few scoops of ice cream throughout the um, fairy ears for school. You don't see the problem. Yeah. But anyway, I don't know why her mother was expecting her to buy school items at the fairy festival. I mean, people did sell other things. Well, I suppose if she'd bought regular jewelry rather than fairy ears, that her mother might not have minded so much, but she was ticked. And I was like, oh, this kid's in trouble. I'm going to try and get her out. so, so, so anyway, that's what I ended up doing. So I would have had another $40 if I hadn't returned her fairy ear money. Well, I must have these all over the place because I'm only seeing 3 of them right here under my feet. The beads I dropped. Oh, there's a 4th one. But, oh, I see where they're at. I can get them later. I'm not going to bother with them today. So anyway, it was an interesting day. I stayed the whole time on Sunday. Like I said, Steve did some wanderlusting. And, sometimes you just got to do that. I wasn't much for wanderlusting, of course, because my knee was starting to bother me if I walked very far. So, and I sort of expected that. I did have my walker because the doctor was insistent that I do that when we did the first show. So I did all right. Like I said, the first day was in the high 80s. I was not feeling great. I have hardly left my house other than to PT and every once in a while to the grocery store with hubby since I've had my surgery. So it was a big bit different from the temperatures, even temperatures in my house, to that. No, I'm not really in too much pain, Heather. It's more of I'm just tired. It was a long weekend and it was hot and I'm not used to being out in the heat anymore. So it's more I'm tired rather than I'm hurting. My leg does hurt a little bit. It was hurting worse Saturday. Saturday was the worst day. But yesterday wasn't too bad. I was actually pretty pleased with how it went. You saw the show yesterday, Dorothy? Yeah, you probably heard me cuss too at the very beginning of it. I was it was funny because my microphone wasn't working. I couldn't hear everybody. I didn't realize that everybody could hear me once I got on, because I couldn't hear anything. But I got my microphone to work and then everything was great after that. But it was I don't normally I don't normally cuss on or try not to on the lives or on anything for that matter that's going to go out into the public. So I was sort of a little upset with myself afterwards, but it happens. That was the highlight of the evening, Beth. Probably was. Anyway, I have dropped my strand of the pink opal. These ones. Well, I shouldn't say dropped. I dropped the strand, but I've got probably about maybe half of them still in my box here. The other half's on the floor up by my couch. My couch is on the other side of my desk, so that's why when Rory starts going on, you can hear him so well, because he's right on the other side of me. But because that's where he always sleeps. Okay, let's see. I see I've got most of them here now. Let's see. I'm going to duck off camera for a second. Okay, not sure I got all of them, but I think I got most of them. But, and I don't want to lose these. These are my favorite beads in the thing. But for all of those who saw us, you saw us give a few ideas with this box. Various ones did, and I know I did as well. And I've given it some more thought since then, so I've sort of decided on a couple of projects. So let's turn down and I'll show you what I'm thinking here. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Brandy. So you think it'll give us more views? Well, you know, when I got on, I started to set up my thing to switch it over to my account too, but I didn't get it done. I was just, you know, I was tired. I was frazzled. I wasn't from the show, and so I wasn't up to my normal standards for me, but that was all right. I love these pearls that are in here. But anyway, so I'm going to turn us down here, and I'm going to show you some of the things I'm thinking of doing with this box. And hopefully we can, and everybody can chime in and see what you think. So let's turn down. Here's the box. I have it open. Like I said, I'd have to count these to make sure I found them all. But anyway, what we were talking about last night is we have this little box clasp. Come here, you. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought I'm not going to use chorionic chain on this. Come here. So it's really pretty. But I am going to put it with this. But because I want this more to be a front clasp than a back clasp, because it is so pretty, I am going to use just a delicate gold chain, and so that I can don't have to use the clamshells. I think the clamshells are going to be a little large to have it be a front opening clasp on Coriana chain. So what I'm going to do is, here, let's put the, and I think maybe these two, just come here, you guys. Yeah, that's the tail. So let's get this out of the way for a second. You get back in there. I was counting the beads and cutting the strands before we started, so that's how I dropped the one all over the place. So anyway, I want this guy to be a front opening clasp. So over to the side, sort of like this maybe. Then this will be down here. And then I'm thinking, because I am going to use a regular chain, I can put these little guys, though they would make gorgeous earrings to match. But I was thinking of putting them as little dangles down the side, and then the rest of it would just be chain. Or we could even break the chain in a few places and add a bead or two just to make it stand out more. Now, if I do that, what I'm thinking I would use is, instead of using any of the beads from the box, um, I would. Well, great, Dawn. 2 years of breast cancer survivor today. That is wonderful. I am so happy to hear that. That's great. So yeah, it's sad that you missed this box. It went pretty fast. I was right on top of the I was right on top of the Bargain Bee Box channel as it was released, and I was glad because these boxes went really fast. Though this is actually the only one that I went for, mainly because I having had my surgery, I haven't done any shows or anything, so I hadn't had much income coming in, so I didn't have a lot of cash flow. So I told myself, you can get one. And when this pink one came out, I was like, okay, there we go. There's the one. So that's why we got that particular one. Hi, Sid. Now I saw a hello to Dorothy, but I didn't see Dorothy come in. Did Dorothy come in? I saw Kimberly. Oh, Dorothy Stacker. Yes, we did see Dorothy Stacker. Come on. I was thinking Dorothy Inurity. I can never pronounce her last name. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking I will do with this. And if I put some beads in the chain, I'm thinking I might just use some crystals. Though, if we want to keep our pink theme going, we do have these little pink cubes that came in the box, which I'm probably going to redo these. A lot of us talked about this yesterday, redoing the, and I put another one up there, the wire wraps in these because they're irritating. But so like so, maybe. Come on. This one's a little darker. Do we have a lighter one? Yeah, here we go. Actually, I sort of like that. We might do that. Though we do have these are darker ones now, but we could put one above as well. Just so that that clasp isn't all by its lonesome there. So that's first idea. Oh, Tina, 11 years. That's wonderful. Wow, that is great. So anyway, this is my thinking on a little necklace for this. If I want to be more elaborate, we'll add these pink cubes in to our chain by just breaking the chain and putting in the pink cubes. I do want this as a front clasp, so I don't want it to go up too high, but I sort of like that. Though almost, even though these pink cubes are really pretty, they almost feel too big to go with the delicateness of these other pieces. So that is also a bit of an issue for me. I do want something in there. I think it would be pretty with something in there, but I just don't know that I like the size of the pink cubes. I think they're very nice, but I could just also just get some little pink crystals or something and put in, which would also look really good. So that's my thoughts on this. This is definitely going with this as a front clasp, just because I really like it as a front clasp. So though if we wanted to, rather than using these, and we could use these for earrings then, we could use this little guy here as our dangle. Of course, we would take off this wire, which I would do anyway because I don't like that wire. And then we could use those little guys as the dangles if we insist upon doing dangles, or they could just go into the chain, broke into the chain to add a little something. Actually, I sort of like that. We may do that because these are little clamshells on top of the pearls as well. So I actually sort of like that better, though I might want a pearl, another pearl up here. Those pearls are slightly different colored. These are more white and that one's more ivory. That doesn't matter. I have some ivory pearls, so I could do that still. I think we could put this in here, but I think that's too much. Are what too big for this necklace? The little pink cubes, yeah, I'm thinking they don't quite work the way I want them to. But like I said, instead of putting dangles, we could put these pearls in, and then we could put some other pearls, one or two here and one or two over here. Well, if we put two over here, I'd put three over here just to even it out some. And actually, I think I like this better. So I think that might be what we do. And we'll save those other little pieces for some earrings maybe. I like this. So I'm going to get a little baggie and sort of plop these things together so that I keep them this way so I know what I want to do here with these. And I have pearls, so I can, and in this color, so we can get some other pearls. In fact, I have real pearls in that color, real freshwater pearls, so we can do it that way. So we will take these and put them right here in this slot where I took those out of. Now, the other thing I'm thinking is, see these pretty little guys right here? I was thinking of, well, for all of these, actually, I'm not sure. Well, yes, it'll work. What I'm thinking of doing is with these guys, and that might be an instance where I might use these tiny little beads. But what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to make a double hoops with this as our middle piece, our little middle dangle. Then we could put some, we'd have to see if they'd fit good. But if we used, I want the pink as much as possible, but that's not coming up here. Come on, we want the pinks. Is that a pink? No, that's a slightly other color. Well, maybe we'll use both these pinks like this. Anyway, we're going to make a lower loop with like this with our little tiny teardrop hanging down, and then we'll have an upper loop just as a decorative, and then we'll put this guy as a dangle in the middle. Bye, Brandy. So or we could just do a single loop with this as the dangle, but we'll have to decide what we want, if that's the way I want to go with it. But I am thinking that this, though I have to check to see if these will go on the wire. That is one thing you always have to worry about when you're making a hoop, a wire hoop, is will it go on your wire? Because sometimes, you know, it says no. And that's just the way it is some days. There's a third one of those. Fourth. And do I have a fourth one of the other color here? So, oops, that's not the right color. Switch colors because I need another color, and then I don't have enough of the other color coming up. But nope, you're one of the regular first colors. There we go. So that's what I'm thinking I will do with these. I think that will make a beautiful pair of earrings just like that, with this little drop in the middle. And if I want any spacers, I will be getting some little tiny gold daisies to put in the spacers, not try to use the spacers we already have here. They're a little bigger than I want. So it'll be like that. And I think those will make a really pretty pair of earrings there. So now the ladies and I were talking about these floofy things. I'm not a big fan of tassels, but they would make a pretty purse charm. And we could use one of our paves. In fact, if we wanted to, we could do a double one, though that might make the tassel stick out a little more than I would like it to do. Though we could put it on another jump ring so it would drop down further. But that would make a really cool purse charm like that. So there is that option. Or we have these big guys here, and these are pretty heavy, so you'd really need to think about putting them on you'd have to put them on a necklace or something. But if you wanted to you could. That would make a pretty purse charm right there. And that's one thing you really need to think about when you're making things is your weight, obviously. So Heather says these little suckers will burn. I have a bigger mess than normal over here on the side with grabbing everything for the show. Oops, somebody sneezed. Come on, I don't want to get the thread, just the threads. Not wanting to accidentally burn the tassel, which I did get it right there a little bit. I wanted to melt these up so it would sit better here. Not sure it's going to work real well. I mean, the top one is fine. The bottom one is too close to the tassel threads. It doesn't want to. It's trying to burn the cotton as well, so I want to be careful with that. But one thing that we discussed yesterday on our show is that these tassels tend to come loose. The thread does, and they unravel. So you got to be really careful with them. So what I usually do is take, come on, hypo cement, come out a little bit, and drive my hypo cement right by the knot where it's coming through, and glue these things a little bit, because then they have glue on them. They don't come loose as easily. So, and I just drive it down through into there. So, I don't like tassels. I don't use them very often, but if I am going to use them, I always make sure I've glued some of the area, because they will try and come loose on you sometimes, and I'm not thrilled by that fact. So we've glued our tassels a bit, as well as burnt them a bit. Oh, come on, hypo cement needle. Go back inside. All right, you don't want to go back inside, so we're going to give our tassel a little bit more glue. And there we go. Anyway, so I glue my tassels a little bit so that we don't have to worry about... Got a sticking up piece right here. So we don't have to worry about them unraveling so much, because they will unravel. It is a fact of life, and it's really a irritating fact of life. So I don't like making something and then selling it and then discovering that it's come apart, or even trying to sell it and it's come apart. And so it's just better to find a way to secure that top a little better. So, like I said, I don't generally use tassels very much. So that was one thing when they were showing the box that I was going, ugh, tassels, blech. But they would make a really cute little purse charm. Just like that would make a really cute one. You could put both of the tassels down here. Or even, you know, put some kind of another bead strand or something up in here to add a little bit more to it. I don't like that. Here's one of those places where this might go good. Actually, we could take this out and use a couple of these maybe. Actually, I like that. And so we could put one of our silly tassels back, but this would take this. Sorry, I was counting those. I always count things before I pull them apart, especially if I don't have the price. So I know about how many were there to start with before I start using them. So go in there. No, I don't want that bottom one, I don't think. So there we go. Just like so. Make a cute little purse charm. It's not very big purse charm, but that's all right. Some people don't like big purse charms. I'm not overly fond of really big ones, so. So the other day I saw I'm not even sure where I saw it at, but I saw this ad for a purse chain that went from one loop of your purse where your strap was on to the other one and just looped along. That was sort of interesting. I hadn't seen anything like that before, and I thought that looks cool. I wouldn't mind something like that maybe. Hey, Cynthia, no problem. Or a bookmark, yes, and actually, let's Do I have any of my bookmark blanks here? I do not think I do. But not sure it'll fit in here in this bag, but we'll see if we can get it to do so. We could use this as that one as another bookmark, as a bookmark, the other one, since we have two. If we wanted to do that. Actually, do I have here? Oh, stop. I think the one I have here is silver though, so that wouldn't work anyway. But unless I wanted to change the color of stuff, which I could. I used to have one of those really miniature bookmarks around here somewhere. Have to find it. I thought it was tucked back here in this hollow, but it's not. I also have one that's a big giant leaf piece. It's right here, but it's silver, which is too bad. Not that we couldn't go multi-metal. Wouldn't be the first time we've gone multi-metal with it. So we could have this tassel hanging down here with some various beads hanging with it. Now Heather says that her dye came off of hers, of these. And if I'm worried about that, I will take a cleaning cloth and clean them a bit. The dye does come off of some things. I'll be the first to admit that. And sometimes it just fades out because of the sun and things. So something to think about. Actually, these pink beads pretty well match the middle of our tassel here. I don't think I'll use this though for it, but it's cool. But if we're going to go for a bookmark, we can just nope. We have some bead caps. Let's use them. These little guys are thin enough that they can conform to things if you need to squish them at all. And you can flatten them out too if you wanted to like glue them onto something. So just a thought in case anybody's interested. So I like this one with the whiter stripes here with it. But at the same time, do I want it, that particular bead with this? I'm not sure I do. So let's go back to this one. Okay. And if you wanted to just be pretty basic, we could just put on top and bottom. And if you're using one of your smaller bookmarks, see if I've got one here. I've got some that are finished, but not my blanks. But see, here's a smaller size. So that would be about right there. Would make a nice little bookmark. I'd probably want a couple more of these little guys. I got 3. They could go on either side of the dyed fuchsia here. You're not behaving. You don't want to go in, do you? That's all right. I'll put you in there anyway. There we go. So that would make a cute little bookmark. You rubbed it with an alcohol pad. So anyway, we can put this stuff together to make a little bookmark with. I just have to go get a bookmark blank to work with it. I think that'll work. And my dislike of tassels does not have to be a problem with these the way we've just done them, first charm and bookmark. So thank you for the idea of a bookmark, Georgina. That worked pretty good. So there's a new project. So we have 2 projects with our tassels, 1 earrings with the shells and the little drops, and we have the necklace with the little pearls. And like I say, I do have some regular cream colored pearls, so that would work great with those. Now these little guys, Heather was saying she wished the loops were going the other direction, and I have to agree with her there. However, what I'm going to use these for is an anklet. They'll make a really cute little anklet. And we're going to use all 4 of them. And I'm going to get some sea glass to put between them rather than the beads that are here. Sea glass will be really pretty. If you wanted to do something a little different, here's those little lavender beads, and you could put some of the lavender beads in, since we don't have any real projects for the lavender beads. We could put some of those in with the sea glass to come here, you guys, add a little bit of more color to it, depending on what color sea glass you use, of course. I have a really pretty salmon pink that I think will work really nicely. Let me close this for a minute so I don't drop everything everywhere. As you all know, I'm really notorious for the dropsies. So let's see, where is my pink sea glass at? It's a salmon pink, and so it is pink, so it'll go along with the way of looking at things, but it is more of a salmon pink than a pink pink, though I do have a pink pink here as well. But what I'm thinking is, where are you guys? Is to, you guys are going to have to go over further. We're going to need the room. But sort of like this, though that's not going to be long enough, so we're going to have to add something to do. So what we're going to have to do is add a little something more in here, of course, because it's not going to be long enough, obviously, even with however you decide to attach your pieces. You could either just soft flex them directly together, or you can use jump rings and wire, whatever works best for you. But we would need something a little more, because I don't think these are going to be quite long enough. Let's measure, see what we've got here. Yeah, see, this is about 7 inches, not even 7, 6.5. So we need a little bit something more. So what I might do, though I don't normally use really big beads in my anklets, is I might, oops, you get back where you belong, take and get another of the little lavenders. For each one segment here, and put a big one in between, like so. So we could Now, I usually use spacers also, but in this instance, we may not want the spacers, especially if we're going to be using the bigger ones in here. Let's see how long we're getting here. We need one more here, and one more here. And one more of the large. Oops, you get back in there. So we would, of course, be bringing these all over some. You go in here, you go here. Then you guys need to get in here, but you're not going to fit right now, or you're going to fall off the mat on the other side. But we may have got that 9 inches out of there, or close to it. It's not quite there. It's about 7.5. But like I say, when you do the connectors, however you decide to do them, be it with Softflex hooking to side or wire hooking from side to side, you're going to add a little bit of length. So that might be fine. And if it's not, you make it shorter and then you put some extender chain in it. But I think this will work really, really cute. So there we go. That's what we're going to do with these little guys. So we'll put these all together here. I ordered a second shovel from Randy because I keep taking my other shovel into the other room, and then I don't have it here. Though I do have my triangles here. I could use that. In fact, I have a ton of triangles here. I bought some used ones from our local feed store down in Missoula, and I have discovered that they're really nice to have around for scooping things up. Okay, now we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4 projects going here. 5, because we've got the earrings here, the necklace here, the anklet, the bookmark, and the purse charm. Still got a ton of things though. So I'll probably want to do something with the pearls, and I might put them with the, yeah, that might work really nicely. Put the pearls with the rose quartz chunks here. Are these rose quartz, or are they agate that have been dyed? They're agates that have been dyed. Okay. And so those would be really pretty, but if I did that, I would need to decide what I wanted to do for a pendant or a focal. This could work. And I think it could easily work as a necklace. Let's pull these out just a sec. So we have this guy, and I'm going to need to decide on what kind of spacers I want. I'm not sure I want to use these spacers that they have in here. Let's see how good the gold goes with the This gold is more of a rose gold, and that's more of a gold. Have to think about that. So I could just make sure our spacers are separated from our shell piece. Take our shell pendant. It's pretty lightweight, but I still think it's fine because I'd put it on a bale and we'd put some rose quartz chunks and space out the pearls in it. And maybe even make it, I'd need more, but I could make a 2-strand. Could just use it with just the chunks and spacers at the bottom, and then a 2-strand with the pearls and spacers above that with this down like that. I sort of like it. Yes, I did gift you a few of the metal triangles. I can't remember if I sent any to Beth when I sent her order. I hope I did, or her things, but I don't know if I did or not. I've been trying to remember to send a few to folks, but I keep forgetting, and I have a ton of them, probably about 30 of them. So does anybody have any requests for Wednesday's beads? Now, see, these beads are not big enough strand just to, make a just straight necklace out of both. This is probably about 14 inches, I think. 12. Yeah, 14, too short. It needs to be at least 18 to be comfortable. And if we're making a middle strand, that one needs to be at least 18. This strand has got a little bit of a loose, is a little loosey-goosey here, so 12 here. Looks like 15 for the pearls. Now, I love these glass pearls from them. They're not glass pearls, they're shell pearls. And they're really good shell pearls, so I know I have more. But that strand is long enough once I put spacers in. Even if I just put some of these every once in a while, like every 3 to 5 beads, but put like small daisies in between the other beads. I'm sorry, Beth. The next time I send you something, I will try and remember to send some. I should actually pull them out and just stick them on my desk and say, send these to people when you send things to them. Because I know I forgot to send any to Brandy, and I am fairly positive I forgot to send any to Chris. I did remember sending them to Heather. But anyway, so every like 5 beads, one of these little spacers could go in of the pearls. And I think that would really add that little. Now this gold is not the same gold. This is more of a rose gold than a gold. So I'm going to keep these ones in with the pearls up above so that they're not they're more of a kissing cousin than a partner, so to speak. So like there. And I do have let's see if any of these rose gold spacers match our pendant better here. Actually, those ones, these ball spacers look really good. Not bad. These rose golds actually match our pendant better than these gold. See how the how our little our gold edges are clashing sort of with these. Heather, Heather, Heather. It's always about Heather. I know where you're coming from. So anyway, these are almost a little bit too rose gold. These ones are, which means so will the daisy spacers. They're about the same color. Yeah, they are. That's what I thought. Now, one thing about rose gold is made by mixing copper with gold. So sometimes it's really coppery and sometimes it's you know, more of a gold color. Now, see, these are not bad. They actually look pretty good with it. So these ball spacers might be the spacers we use in here rather than the gold. Or if we do use these gold, we'll put them up just in the pearls. But I'm thinking the rose gold will be fine in there too. Or we could do slightly multi-metal and add the gold ones. And then mix in some of the rose gold. Use the rose gold at the bottom, or mix the rose gold in some in the pearls. Just add the rose gold up to it, sort of like maybe like this. With the gold up here, gold down here, and the rose gold between. And that will pull the rose gold up into with the pearl strand. If we do it that way, it's definitely a way of thinking. A teacher's pet, huh? You're the teacher's pet? Oh, boy. So anyway, this is what I'm thinking here, is maybe a 2-strand necklace with our shell down here, our nuggets, and maybe every once in a while in the nuggets we'd put a pearl in between to add to bring the two together so that they match each other pretty good. And then we could like I say, put the gold and the rose gold both in with the pearls, and then just find some kind of spacer I want to use with the I'm thinking, I don't know that I have a rose gold bell is the biggest problem here. And so I may want to intentionally make this, excuse me. Hey, Brandy. Mix it entirely so that we have the gold and the rose gold together, because like I say, I don't think I have a rose gold bale, which of course will make a problem because we have to put the bale in. I have copper, I have silver, I have gold, lots of gold, lots of silver, but no rose gold. So I think we're going to have to do some multi-metal and put some gold and some rose gold together, no matter what we do here. So I'm leaning towards one of these ball bells for our gold in our, so it will not add any patterning to it. Ta-da. But I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to use these every once in a while, these every once in a while, and our gold. And we are going to be putting some of these in amongst here too, to bring the two colors together. And I will use the ball spacers in both sides. These are a little bit too rose goldy, so to speak, so I don't think those will work real well. Now I do have one other rose gold, but I don't have very many of them. Actually, I guess I have a couple more over here too. Okay, yes I do. So let's see how well these ones match up with our shell, because these might be some we might want to use as well. We have bead caps here. Come here. Ooh, leaf is way too rosy. That definitely won't work. It's better, but it's not the thing probably. I don't know. Now these are bead caps. They could go with the pearls every once in a while. Or maybe if we want to get really cutesy, we could do them. Here, I'll show you what I mean. What I mean I could do is, let's see, do I have a head pin around here somewhere? I think I do. I had one. Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to cut the pearls so I can show you what I was thinking of just now. I need to count these babies so I can put them in their slot better. So maybe they won't ever go in the slot because I might use them. So then I was thinking of one of these gold, then one of these rose gold, in the pearl, rose gold, and the gold again. And now this would make a very definite separation between some of the bead parts. And I actually sort of like the rose gold and the gold beside each other like that. I think it looks pretty good. So we could do that every once in a while, up our pearl strand. And actually maybe only use these in with that idea. Then we'd put, of course, some more pearls on here. Now we can either put spacers in between them all, or we could just let them go like 3 of them. Like so. Oop. Put one of these guys on. So now I usually put a spacer between everything, but I was thinking like this, and then another 3, maybe another one of these, another 3, and then one of these pieces again like this. Dawn, I've been making jewelry since I was a kid. So used to be just every once in a while, but now it's more often than not. So, it takes time, and you get used to doing things, and yeah. So anyway, I was thinking like this, and then, well, we don't have enough wire to keep going very much. But then do maybe 3 sections like this with just the 3 pearls and the one, or if we wanted to break that up and we didn't want to do 3 sections of 3, we could put another rose gold spacer here by this other one. Whoops, it's going to fall off here if I'm not careful. Then do the 3, then this one again. Actually, that might be what I do. I like that. because it adds a lot of definition to it. And this will be our our inner come here, you, our inner we're going to make this 2 strands, so this is going to be the inner section, like so. And because we want to pull these together, if we have enough of these, I have plenty of these, if we have enough of these little gold ones, we could do this trick in here as well, as long as our nuggets will accept our bead cap without flopping all over the place. So let's pull this baby loose. We see what we want to do here now. And then we will cut our nuggets loose here and see if we can do that same patterning on the outside with our nuggets. So now these 2 nuggets are really dark pink, and frankly, if I can get rid of a few of the beads, these 2 dark pink ones are the ones we're going to get rid of because they're not going to match in nearly as well. So, oh, it's going to sit on there all right. I think it'll be all right. Now see, that'll bring our gold up into here. Now nuggets are like chips. Sometimes you have to roll them a little bit to get the spot to sit the way you want it to. Come here, you. I need to cut my nails. They're getting too long. So then we would do the same patterning, like I said, if we have enough of these gold beads throughout both sides. So though I would want to like space my set out so that, say, this one hits like this. Okay, what did I miss? Yeah, that's very true, Cynthia. I showed you guys, I think, a pair of earrings I made when I was a teenager. Probably one of the first things I ever made. And it's entirely different from what I make nowadays. I'll be the first to let you know. So yeah, I'm liking this patterning. I think it's going to work good. Mixing this rose gold with the gold, since this actually is more rose gold around our pendant. I think it's going to look really cute as a 2-strander. And I'm hoping that with all the spacers and stuff in with things, it'll be long enough and I won't have to add anything. If I do have to add anything, we will put it on a ring up towards the top and then add some chains to give it that extra length it needs. But I am liking this, so I think this is going to be... Now, this one can't go in a bag because, well, I can, but it's going to be... there's going to be too much. Let's see, how many of these little gold ones did they say they gave us? 30. Mm, 30 might be enough. We'd have to make sure we only kept 15 or 16 on one side and 14 on the other. But I think we could do that the way I've got it spacing here. So I'm going to put these things back in their slot. We'll put the other odds and end things with it so that I can keep them together. But I think I pretty well know what we're going to do here with these. I think it's going to work all right. I like it. Yeah, I'm liking this necklace idea quite a bit. I was liking the earring idea with the 2 metal loops and the other piece pretty well too. So I think we got some good ideas going here, and I think I will try and get some of this stuff put away. And take a picture. Yeah, I probably should take a picture before I put everything away in different places, shouldn't I? So, anyway, I think this is going to turn out quite nicely. I'm liking the way it looks and the way we got it to look, and I hope you guys agree that that is a really pretty well. That I like this necklace. Let's just put it that way. Oh, well, thank you, Dawn. Wood or bone to make a... You are really liking the little printer you got? I have a bigger printer that I use. I just put all my stuff in my computer and use my bigger printer. So I don't really need another printer, but thank you for, saying. So Randy will probably appreciate that a great deal. As for bone, let me see here. Let's see if we can push these things sort of to the side without disrupting everything too much. And I will get out some things. Bone or wood? Okay. Uh-oh, I just dropped a strand of brown agate. That's not good. Okay. These are bone and they're antler in here. Fetch my brown agate back out of the hole I slipped it into accidentally. No. Well, I guess it likes it down there. So does the adventuring. You guys come here. These guys are trying to run off. I told them they can't. So now bone and I have wood here too somewhere, but these are the most accessible is my bone. Your bone, is it more of this color that looks like it's aged, or is it the more ivory color bone? Bye, Dawn. Wood and pearls, yes. Bye, Brandy. I'm sorry you're having a hard day, sweetie. So anyway, we have our bone here. We have 2 different colors, and you want to use pink with it. Are you thinking you would like the pink beads from this? About something like this. Now, if you want to put these together, you either have to, of course, wire wrap these or just cut this out and just let them come together, which would work. Oh, thank you, Beth. But see, it's just simple. Just add something between your bones, or you can even do, multiple pieces, things between them. Like I said, I don't know what color bone you're going for. I have both of these colors, obviously. And what did I just do with my bone? Oh, it's right here. I also have, these are antler, elk antler. So they're bigger. You could even, these beads, these little rondelles, you'd think they wouldn't be too much expensive. Because of what they are, they're $1.10 a piece. But you could put something like that. That's definitely definitely a good idea. So if we were to just do it with the elk antler, though, I'd probably use just the natural color of the bone, like so. But I don't use a lot of bone. I do like to use it. I don't use it very often just because I don't have a lot of it, more or less. But it is definitely something to think about using all the time. Heather was suggesting pearls with bone, and I actually have, just a second, I need to put this where it's not going to fall. I want to put these two beads away. I don't have a lot of them left, but I do have some pink of the shell pearls. That's pretty. Or I have a different color of pink, a smaller one. I have quite a bit more of those. But they also would look really pretty with our bone. And actually we could do like so, or like this. I think I like it that way better. So let's pull out. And see how stunning that looks together? Rhodonite with darker wood pieces would look good. You've been sucked down the pink rabbit hole, huh? Now I also have some natural pink pearls if you wanted to go natural or more natural. And as you can see, those also look pretty nice with the so very, that would be sort of basic, but it gives you the idea. Pink goes great with both bone and wood. I don't have any wood really close by me, or I don't think I do anyway. I bet I do, actually. because I have my gemstone boxes here, and the wood to me is considered a gemstone. It's not, it's a natural element, so that's how I look at it. And whoa. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. They're really trying to escape again. My bronzite, oh, nope, this is petersite. My petersite was trying to get away. Pitersite, I guess is more how it's pronounced. Isn't that pretty? Now there's another brown. I should have suggested that to Randy this morning too. That brown is a very, very pretty brown. I really like pitersite. You get back up there with your buddies. So let's see. Do I have any wood near me? Nope, that's all fire opal. I know I do, but I'd have to dig. But so there's a idea with pearls and bone, and if you preferred the darker bone, I call it aged, but it's not. It's really just been, you know, you can make your bones, your bone, if you get any bone, that bone is almost straight. If you get some bone and you don't like it, this clear color, you can drop it in coffee or tea and let it sit overnight and it'll, but see how that one looks good too. Yeah, I caught him. They're trying to get away. But that's my naturals, what I call my naturals box. It's just got bone and antler and such as that in it. So another thing you could use with your pink, if you wanted to, is some shell. There's really pretty pink shells, and there's really pretty just natural shell that you could mix with pink that would look really cool too. Actually, just a second. Let's leave those out here for a minute. See if I can get this out without dumping everything everywhere. This is actually a necklace I'm going to pull apart. See, it's got the barrel clasp on it, which incidentally, for those interested, I hate barrel clasps. Ta-da! See these beautiful things? This is a strand that's, you know, it's goes from big to large. It's got big holes inside these big ones, but these would look stunning, and I'm cutting these loose right now. I keep telling myself to do it and haven't been, but I don't know that I'd want to use the tiny ones. But once you go up a ways on this strand, because it is, Christ, words, Rose, it goes from large to goes from one size to a different size. Can't think of the word. Oop, no falling. You're undone. But now stay put. And now we can put a little bead here. And another one of you guys on the other side. These are hollow in this side. You know, they are concave, so you want to be careful which way you're putting them on things if you want them to like sort of act like a bead cap. So see, those will work really cool too. It's another thing you can use if you want, and you don't have to just put one. You could put 2 or 3 with your pearl. And they're just stunning with other beads, and then they get so big on this that you can put any number of large beads with them. For instance, we could take this nugget and encapsulate it with 2 of them. See how pretty that looks? So anyway, we'll pick these things back up again so I don't lose them. But those are, you know, just some ideas of things you can do. Pink is a really pretty color. And if you are not real prejudiced against it, it will match. You can work it in just about anything. And browns and pinks are great together. Anyway, in my opinion, they are. But so definitely if you're, and a lot of bone pieces and wood pieces, well, obviously wood is brown. Most wood is brown. You can, brown and pink just goes together super good, in my opinion. So you can definitely, well, as an example, here's this bronzite. Let's just push the pink over beside it. See how good that looks with it? Put the darker pink with it here. See how pretty that goes together? So what's a favorite gemstone? Octagon shape, pink and cream with brownish. For the bone, I would think so. They tell you to make it more of the darker natural color, the antiqued bone kind of thing, by putting it in tea or coffee and letting it sit overnight, or as long as you want it to sit to get, you know, what color you want. So if you wanted it to have a colored bone, I would think you could put it in Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid dyes just about anything, let's face it. It's got a really strong color accent, but you got to remember it will dye just about anything Kool-Aid would. Check out this red lightning jasper. Now I like red lightning jasper because it's not only got the red from the jasper, but it's got the white from quartz in it too. And it has some really dramatic beads because of that. Like this one. It almost looks like it's fake, but it's a real deal. It's amazing what nature does. And I really like it in these rondelles as well. Oops, come back here, you. But so as far as the red jaspers are concerned, I like the red lightning jasper best. But you know, to each their own. Everybody has difference of opinions on what they like better than other things, and you got to respect that. I can pick more than one. How about all of them? You've never heard of red lightning jasper, Heather? Oh, that's weird. Like I said, I prefer red lightning jasper to regular red jasper because I love the strands of quartz through it. I think it really adds some drama. So I think those are gorgeous. As far as favorite beads are concerned, my favorite all time is probably Botswana agate, and then below that would be amethyst and carnelian. I'm not really an orange person, but I love carnelian. So it's just, but most people can tell my favorites because I separate my, if you want, we're at my house, because I separate my beads by gemstones or by purple or their colors. These are purple gemstones, but everything in here is amethyst. I've got 3 boxes of amethyst. I got 2 boxes of carnelian, and I need another one. And some of them actually need moved to different boxes because I've got so many of one kind that I have got, but I haven't got a specific box for it, so they need their own specific box. Oh, now my citrine thinks it can escape too? I don't think so. And I like citrine. Again, I'm not a yellow person, but I love citrine. I've always loved citrine. And sunstone. Yeah, this is straight. For a second there, I thought I saw some of those copper flecks that are in sunstone, but I was wrong. It's just the way it was glowing there on the string. Citrine's starting to escape too. This is not a thing to here. So I love gemstones. I really don't have any real, well, I just told you my 3 favorites, so I guess I do. But your birthstone is ruby, Cynthia. So is my mama's. I tend to make her ruby things every once in a while so that, though she's 95, she just, well, actually, what is today? The 28th? Oh my goodness, it's her birthday today. I'm going to have to send her a message, or at least call her. You wanted to make yourself a big chunky monkey necklace using a chunk of ruby. Oh, that would be nice. That would be very nice. So, yes, I better call my mama. Like I said, she's 95 today. And that's not a milestone a lot of people reach. So I think she's very special, and I'm certainly going to have to give her a call after we're off here today. So anyway, and have a piece of cake when I'm talking to her. I'm not sure I have any cake around the house. I might be able to find a cookie. So anyway, we're going to go. I am going to take a picture of this strand, and then I will take a picture of my pearl, redo the pearl strand and take a picture of it, so I do remember what I want to do with the 2, because let's face it, they're not going to fit in a baggie in my box. Not everything together. So I will sort of post some of the things together and for myself so that I know what's what, and then we will for instance, I may put this section in a baggie and then put them in with a section of the white and put them in little baggies with my pieces here, so I know what we're using that for. And I could also take around and put the bell with this, and we'll put it together. One of these tomorrow. We'll put one of these together. Haven't decided what we'll put together, but we can put one of them together tomorrow. I think that would be fun. And like I said, I think we're going to go for now. I think we had a good time with our you'd like to see her Temu haul? I haven't bought anything from Temu for a while. I used to buy all the time from them, but I haven't bought so much. Well, I haven't bought from anywhere in a while because, hey, I haven't had the cash since I had my surgery. But we will. I just ordered some stuff from Randy because I think I'm going to order 2 more of these little lights. I really like them. They are really nice for lighting. Let me show you the difference, why I like this light so much. So I truly like this light, and I actually can make it a lot brighter, as you can see here. And it says this one is supposed to be warmth. I don't know if it changed. Oh, there it goes. It's more brown that way. So anyway, I think now that I have some money, I'm going to order a couple more of these lights so I can put them on either corner. So that will be nice. So anyway, I think I'm going to go. We've been on for what, an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. So maybe even more than that. So I'm going to go for the day. Well, let's turn up. This is silly to talk to when you're looking at my bead mat when you can look at me. Oh, we've been on for an hour and 42. Here we go with another one of these 2-hour shows, guys. And so I hope you enjoyed designing with me. I think we got quite a few little designs made. I'll probably record 1 or 2 of them on air tomorrow when we do our live tomorrow. And heck, if I be lazy and don't feel like recording anything, we may just make a lot of them online on our lives. So we might do some on Wednesday and Thursday live too. Who knows, right? So anyway, we have got quite a few designs made here. I think we got what? An earring, 2 necklaces, a purse charm, and a bookmark. Oh, and an anklet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 designs. But we still have a whole bunch of stuff in this box, so we'll have to see what we're going to do with it. Yes, try and stay cool, everyone. It's been a bit warm these days. I know Randy was saying that she just got a tornado warning, so hopefully she won't have any real serious problems with that. But we'll see you all tomorrow morning. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and bye for now.